welcome to the Billionaire Journey Podcast. It is no more an argument that if you want to become successful in your personal brand, you want to generate more sales and, get respected in your industry, you need to become an authority. It's no longer an argument about that. So how do you become an authority? Now, I'm going to share with you certain things that can help you to become an authority in your chosen field, whether you are a makeover artist or you are a carpenter or you are a life coach or you are an entrepreneur, you are a business person, or you are even a teacher. Whatever you do, right? One of the ways to become, well celebrated, become an expert in your field is to become an authority. And so how do you become this authority in your field? One of the first thing I need to tell people, so some years ago, I was coaching a particular woman in Nigeria who was, selling beads in Nigeria. And I told her that one of the ways to become authority in your field is to become an author. Now, and I asked her, and which you might also be wondering, that what does being an author, have to do with, being an authority in your field? Now, if you remove the word "riti" from authority, you'll be left with what? Author. So it means that to become an authority, you first have to become an author. Right? You have to become an author. Now, how do you become an author? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean publishing a book, which is very important also, right? Most people who are experts in their field, who are celebrated today, have a book. Talk of, Russell Brunson, even Bill Gates has a book eventually, right? We have Tim Cook. We have what's the name of this guy who wrote the Habits of Highly Successful People, Stephen Covey, and so on and so forth. All of those people, became authority by becoming an author. So if you want to become an authority in your field, the first thing to do is to become an author. Now, what if you don't have the money to publish a book? You don't necessarily need money to publish a book. You can publish a book, like 19 pages book, free, using your Microsoft Word or Google Doc. That is my favorite. Google Docs. Use Canva to design the cover and then upload it for people to get for free if you want it. You are already an author. Or you could publish the book and upload on Amazon, self-publishing. You don't need a publishing company to become an author. And if you don't want to go through the stress of, having to publish a book, you can start a blog. You're authoring something. Yeah, start a blog, start writing. There's power in writing, there's power in writing and helping people with your writing. Now, I read a book called The Valuable Content Marketing. One of the ways to actually build authority is to what? Valuable content. Now, and we all know that being an authority already, being an author doesn't necessarily mean writing a book, although book is very, very important in this equation. So you can start a podcast like this and start sharing things that you believe, you're good at, right? You don't necessarily need to be an expert. Just start. Okay? Some people are like, oh, okay, who is going to listen to me? Listen, just by me starting this podcast, I've had a lot of offers. People sending me emails, wanting to propose something to me, wanting to meet me, and so on and so forth, right? Because they believe that for me to be sharing all of this that I'm sharing, they believe that I am well educated in what I'm talking about. That believe that I know what I'm talking about, and that is why I'm talking about it. So start by being an author. And I told you already that being an author doesn't necessarily mean writing a book. You can start a podcast. You can start blogging. You can even start, if you don't have money or to build a website, you can start on blogger.com or even WordPress.com, or even start on social media platform. There are people, for example, there's a blogger in Nigeria called Instablog Nigeria, and This blogger started on Instagram. And eventually, people began to know the person in other areas. All right. Start from your Facebook, start from your Instagram, start from TikTok, wherever platform you think you can start from. Start by being an author, right? And I hope that this podcast helps you, because you see, if you become an authority, people begin to consume your content and say, wow, this guy is good. I like the way he teaches. I like the way he shared this valuable information. If he can share this valuable information to me for free, how much more am I going to learn from him if I, pay for his services, for his coaching, or for his books? So I encourage you today. Become an author. And before I close, right, for today, I just want to share a story with you. The first time I traveled out of my country was because of the fact that I was an author, right? I was an author because somebody read my book in the Gambia, and the person reached out to me and then felicitated with a very well-known international non-profit, and they took me, all expenses paid to Gambia. And that was how I was able to go out of my country for the first time, just because I was an author. And I hope that you start becoming an author today. I'm not saying you're going to travel out because of that, but it can happen. And people talk about luck. Luck meets preparedness is the actual luck. So if you want to attract luck into your life, being lucky, right? You have to start, preparing for it. Becoming an author would definitely help in attracting luck to your life. And I hope you got something from this podcast. Please share with your friends, start practicalizing it, and I look forward to listening or hearing from you any moment from now. Bye.